to crash baking on new world tour.
And for our first destination, sweetheart, it's only here, no other than France. Who doesn't know this classic French dessert? So keep on watching, sweetheart, and learn how to make an easy, perfect eclair from scratch. Of course, I will be sharing some tips and techniques how to make this dessert at the comfort of your home. From the choux to chocolate pastry cream, up to finishing your eclair with a chocolate glaze, we will be doing it together, sweetheart.
And yes, season 2 na, sweetheart! Are you ready to travel the world, sweetheart? How about you join me and let's satisfy your cravings with the world's best dessert. Only here in Crash Baking on You World Tour.
A creamy and perfect chocolate eclair. Let's get started. First, in a medium saucepan, combine 1/2 cup water, 1/2 cup milk, 8 tablespoons butter, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then bring to a boil over medium heat. And please take note, sweetheart, that I am using a triple times recipe in this video. Once it started to boil, remove the pan from heat and stir in 1 cup flour all at once with a wooden spoon. When flour is incorporated, place back over medium heat about 1.5 to 2 minutes, stirring constantly. This will release an extra moisture and partially will cook the flour. Cook it until the dough comes together into a smooth ball or a thin film forms on the bottom of pan. First tip on how to make your homemade eclair is to use a wooden spoon to incorporate the flour. This is the most crucial part in making a choux. Drying and cooking your dough is essential. If you don't do this, your eclairs will not rise properly because instead of the steam expanding the dough in a predictable fashion, it will be quite random and you will see a lot of flat, cracked eclairs. Tip number 2. How do you know when your dough is done? Sadaharu Aoki recommends to actually cook your dough until it reaches 75 degrees Celsius. Then transfer the dough into a mixing bowl. Tip number 3. Use a paddle attachment. Too much air will make the shell cracks in the oven or explode and collapse. Using a paddle and mixing at a low speed, it will keep the air in the eggs at a minimum as well as the air in the choux at a minimum. When the dough has cooled to room temperature, it is time to add the eggs one by one, making sure your egg is completely emulsified before adding the next. Mix until the dough is smooth and glossy and the eggs are completely incorporated. The dough should be thick but should fall slowly and steadily from the beaters when you leave it out of the bowl. Another way to test the consistency is the V-test. It should also form a thick ribbon when pulled up. Transfer the batter into a piping bag and it's time to pipe. The single most important way to reduce crackings in eclair and ensure that they are puffy instead of flat is to use the proper piping tip. A star-shaped tip or a French tip about 1.5 cm in diameter is the common use in making an eclair. But you can see in this video that I am just using a round tip around 1.5 cm in diameter. Tip number 4. Piping at 45-degree angle. This is the best angle to pipe your choux pastry at a constant pressure with minimal distortion on the pipe choux. If you only have a round piping tip just like me, you can minimize cracking by running the tines of a fork lightly through the pipe dough to create some ridges. Please do take note as well, sweetheart, the distance of this pipe eclair to each other. Since I am doing a mass production, these eclairs will go directly to the fridge and of course will bake it when I need it. Tip number 5. Your frozen unbaked eclair should be defrosted before baking it. There has to be enough steam in the oven to puff off your choux pastry dough. A way to create steam is by setting your oven to high heat, nothing less than 180 degrees Celsius. So bake your choux at 220 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes without opening the oven. After your choux pastry has been baked and have puffed in the oven, the residual steam must be released. So lower the temperature at 180 degrees Celsius and bake for another 20 minutes or until golden brown. And voila! A perfect, crispy, hollow pata choux. And for the complete tutorial and procedure of a creamy, perfect, and stable chocolate pastry cream, you can check out my another video on how to make a best and stable chocolate pastry cream. Of course, I will be putting down the link on the description box. Usually, a classic chocolate eclairs have a creamy vanilla pastry cream filling. It's almost like a vanilla pudding with a prominent vanilla flavor and not too sweet. But you can also fill your chocolate eclairs with a delicious chocolate pastry cream too. Another tip, sweetheart, once your pastry cream has been set or cold, make sure that you have mixed it before putting it into your piping bag. You have so many ways of filling these classic eclairs. With a Bismarck tip, or in my case, a round tip, insert the tip from the ends of the eclair and fill it from both ends. Once filled, wipe the ends to remove the excess filling. You can also cut the eclair into half and pipe the filling in decoratively. You can make 3 holes at the bottom of the eclair to ensure that you have used enough filling, because there is nothing worse than an empty eclair. Once all the eclairs are filled, then it's time to dip them in the chocolate glaze. The chocolate glaze is really easy to make and super delicious on its own. It's just a mixture of chocolate, cream, butter, and a touch of corn syrup. But what I am using for today, sweetheart, is a chocolate mirror glaze because this is what I have already inside my ref. Dip the eclair into your glaze and make sure that it's not so thick. Run your finger into the edge of your glaze to stop it from dripping and to have a very neat look. Lastly, you can leave your chocolate eclair like this, or you can put some pearls on top just like I am doing right now, or even some shredded chocolate.
So there you have it, sweetheart. That is my favorite French dessert, a classic chocolate eclair. So I really hope you can try that recipe, sweetheart. And of course, if you want to have more sweet adventure with me, first of all, like and share this video. And second, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified on our next destination. So sweetheart, this is me again, my secret saying, as long as you know how to bake, life is sure to be sweet because life is what you bake of it. And don't forget, sweetheart, hand in hand, let's make the world a better place. See you on my next adventure on Crash Baking on You World Tour.